everyone. Welcome back to Down the Track. Today, in this episode, we'll be doing the player ratings for the Rajasthan Royals versus Delhi Capitals match. An incredible game of cricket, a low-scoring thriller. At one stage, it looked like at halftime, it looked like Rajasthan will cruise, but then they were like, what was it, like 40 for 5, 100 for 7, and it looked like they were going to lose. In Delhi were cruising, and then suddenly Morris came and turned the game on its head. It was a brilliant game of cricket. We saw some nice batting, brilliant bowling, some good fielding as well. Let's start with the player readings. We'll go with the Delhi Capitals first and then move on to the Rajasthan Royals. Delhi Capitals, Prithvi Shaw with the bat today. He was poor. He couldn't get off to that start. 2 of 5 balls. You could see Sakaria like beat him well in the first few deliveries, and he didn't look comfortable. For today's performance, I'll give him 3 out of 10. Shikhar Dhawan again. He got a boundary, but he really didn't get away. He couldn't get that start which he got in the first game along with Shaw. And I'm gonna give him an extra point for the catches he took. He took 3 catches, 3 really good catches. So I'll give him 4 out of 10 for his performance. Rahane, 3 out of 10. His job is to anchor, and I think on this pitch, Rahane's innings would have been really useful. He would have, I think these are the pitches where he thrives on rotating the strike. You don't really need the big hits because it's a bit too paced, and he should have worked the gaps a bit more, I felt, and they really missed out on that, Delhi. And so I'm going to give him 3 out of 10. Rishabh Pant, I think he batted really well. He was, he looked really comfortable on the pitch. He got the boundaries with ease. His cuts were very powerful. Through covers, he was hitting it even on the leg side. And I think it was very unfortunate to get run out. If he didn't get run out, he could have scored 80, 90, even 100. And he was looking set to take Delhi past like 170, 180. And unlucky to get run out. I think they misjudged the call. They should be planning that a bit better. In terms of keeping, I think it took a sensational catch, a really good catch there as well in the beginning. And but I think where he was caught a bit was his captaincy. I think giving Ashwin only 3 overs instead of 4 when he was bowling good, going economy of 4.5. I think that was a bit poor. They could have easily taken Stoinis's over out or Tom Curran's over and given it to Ashwin, and he could have even picked your wicket. But when he's bowling so well with a good economy, I think you should just trust Ashwin to finish his 4 overs quota. But apart from that, I think Pant was really good behind the stumps and with the bat. Also, one more thing was the run out. He missed a very important run out there of Unatkat in the end. Morris, he stayed with Morris Unatkat and they won the game. So I think that run out proved kind of costly as well. That would have been a dot ball, and it would be one minus run, and it would have been a wicket, and they would only have 2 wickets left. So I'll take some points out for that as well. Apart from that, it was a really good knock with the bat, but it's a learning experience for him. He will improve. So I'm going to give him 8.5 out of 10 for Rishabh Pant. Marcus Stoinis was disappointing today. He got off for a duck. He was expensive with the ball in his 1 over. I'm going to give him 2 out of 10. You expect more from him. He's a foreign all-rounder, occupying that position in the team. And, there's the likes of Steve Smith waiting in the wing. So I think Stoinis needs to up his game. Otherwise, he might get replaced. He plays a pivotal role with both bat and ball. And if he's not performing with both, it is a worry for Delhi, and he'll need to work on that. So 2 out of 10 for me for Stoinis. I have to be critical because he's such a good player. And then moving on to Wokes, I think he was sensational today. Like 4 overs, 2 wickets, 22 runs. He was like going 4 and was it like under 6 runs per over. He got the new ball to move. He bowled, I think, magnificently. I think he got the wicket of Butler as well, getting the ball to come in, and that catch by Pant was brilliant for that wicket. And he also got the wicket of Vora. So removing both openers, just the start that Delhi needed. They needed early wickets, and Wokes provided them with that. And he's extracting a lot of swing in these conditions. I think is the most that I've seen. And yeah, he bowled really well. I'm going to give him 9 on 10. It wasn't his fault that they lost. I think he did his job. And then moving on to Lalit Yadav, I think he was building a partnership with Pant, which was very important. But then after Pant got out, he should have taken a bit more responsibility. He got out, and his strike rate is a bit low as well. So I'm going to give him 5 out of 10. Ashwin, I think he bowled really well. Unfortunately, he couldn't complete his 4 overs quota. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Tom Curran, I think he was he got hit a lot. He was the most expensive bowler in the team. I think his overs proved crucial for Rajasthan to win the game, actually, and he'll need to up that. They might, take him out and replace him with another player, because I think Tom Curran has been expensive in the last couple of games. Even his brother Sam Curran hit him in the first game. So he'll need to work on that. He was very expensive today. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. And then moving on to Rabada, I think he was really good in his first 3 overs. Excellent. He's got, he just came back from quarantine. Might be a bit rusty, but he was on target, picked up a couple of wickets. So credit to him over there. It's just his last over was expensive, but he got hit for a couple of sixes. I think he just wasn't getting that length right. And also the pace he was bowling at when he bowled fast, Morris couldn't hit them. When he bowled the slower deliveries, those were getting picked out. So I think he should have bowled a bit quicker. But apart from that, even his lengths, like they were in the slot for Morris, maybe, pitch it a bit shorter or a bit fuller. That would have been better. But Rabada is he's a match winner. He will learn from that and he will improve. But apart from that, it was a really good performance by him. So I'm going to give him 8 out of 10. Actually, yeah, 8 out of 10. I think he did well except for that last over. Otherwise, it would have been a much better performance. And then moving on to Avesh Khan, again, picked up 3 wickets, slightly expensive in the end, but he picked up 3 crucial wickets. He's proving out to be a wicket taker for Delhi. And, he's playing that third seamers role, exactly what you want, picking up wickets, not going for too many runs. Of course, you can be expensive, but if you're picking up 2-3 wickets every game, that really helps the team. And I think it was a good performance. In the death overs, he'll have to improve a bit, but I like the way he bowled the slower cutter as well. And when he bowls fast, he's pretty quick. There is talent there, and there's a lot of room for improvement, and I'm sure he will. He's a very bright prospect, Avesh Khan. I'm going to give him 8 out of 10 for his performance. So yeah, that wraps up Delhi's performance. The bowlers did well, just couldn't finish it off, but I think they expected a bit more from their batsmen on this pitch as well. And then moving on to the Rajasthan Royals player ratings. Manan Vora, I think I'm going to give him a 4 on 10. He hit a couple of boundaries. He was looking good, but then to play a shot like that after you've already hit a couple of boundaries, and that too on walks, I think he should have been a bit more careful, which he wasn't. I'm going to give him 4 on 10. Butler, 3 on 10. You expect more. He opened the batting. It was good to see him open the batting and be in that position. I think that you expect more from him, and the Rajasthan Royals will want him to perform because he can be a match winner for them. And I think he's playing in the right role. He'll consume as many balls as possible. He's a dangerous batsman. He can play 360. And you just want him to score more runs. So for today, I'm going to give him 3 on 10. For Samson, again, poor with the bat, he got out with the edge, and I think he has to be a bit more careful. He was dropped in the first game as well, where the edge was found. He has to be a bit more careful outside that off stump, maybe leave the delivery when the ball is new. But apart from that, I'm going to give him a couple extra points for his captaincy. I think he kept his calm. He captained well. He changed his bowlers around, and he used his fast bowlers really well as well. So I'm going to give him 5 on 10, 2 extra points for his captaincy. And Shivam Dube, I think you expect more from him. He didn't bowl, and then in the middle overs, he's promoted. He's batting at number 4 or 5. Like he needs to. What was it today? He batted at 4. So I think if he's coming at 4, he needs to take more responsibility. He can't throw away his wicket like that. They're giving him that promotion. They're giving him that responsibility. So he needs to be a bit more mature in the way he plays. And I think he should work the singles, anchor the innings a bit, and then he can go for the hits. He doesn't need to go straight away, especially the run rate was always in check because it wasn't such a big score that they were chasing. So I'm going to give Shivam Dube a 2 out of 10. I expect much more from him, both with the bat and ball. If Rajasthan are to do well, he will play a part. Now moving on to David Miller, I think he was excellent. The way he adjusted to the pitch was magnificent. It wasn't the most David Miller pitch, well, he likes the ball coming on and like he likes the pace, but there were slower deliveries here. There was cutters, and he was picking those and depositing them. Some brilliant sixes. He got his timing right as well. You can see he's in form. And the way he adjusted the pitch so quickly, you have to give him credit for that. He put Rajasthan Royals back on track. He gave them the chance to finish it off. Without his innings, they probably wouldn't have won this game. But at the same time, he would be disappointed not to finish the innings. I think next time he'll want to stay till the end. If he was there till the end, the chase would have been a bit more easier, but nonetheless, it was a magnificent innings. And after that dismissal, I thought they would lose, but Morris came to the rescue. But I'm going to give Miller 9 out of 10. If he finished it off, he would have got full marks. So 9 out of 10 for Miller. Rayan Parag, for today, 4 out of 10. He's a young kid. He's going to learn. With the ball, I think he was decent, like 8 runs per over, not bad. But with the bat, you expect a bit more from him, especially first match. He played really well, which is okay. I think he'll learn. You can't be really harsh on him. He is a youngster. I'm going to give him 4 on 10. Rahul Tewatia, 5 on 10. I think he was expensive with the ball. He got hit for a few runs. With the bat, he was decent. He built a good partnership with Miller, which got them back into the game. But I think in the future, he'll need to finish off innings as well, bat till the end. He'll have to focus on that. Sometimes he gets frustrated when he doesn't get the boundaries. He should relax. He has that hitting talent. We've seen that last season. So I would want to see a bit more from him. But for this game, I'll give him 5 on 10. just to get that, because they got that partnership, important partnership, giving Miller that company needed to build an innings. And then moving on to Chris Morris. Fantastic. This is why they paid the big bucks for him. This is why they paid so much money. Everyone's asking why you're giving so much money to Morris, but out of the available players and the purse that they had, this is why they need a player like him. He picked up a wicket. Yes, he was slightly expensive. They probably want him to pick up more wickets as well in the future. He picked up a wicket, then he finished off the innings. Magnificent hitting. Like initially he was struggling. He was, just getting the single here and there. He couldn't connect. But then after 1-6, it just requires 1-6. And then, the ball just came out of the middle of the bat. The way he hit Rabada for 2 sixes, it was just unbelievable. It was wonderful batting. That over changed everything. That Rabada over, the penultimate over of the match. And then in the last over, he just killed it. He just finished it off. And it was brilliant batting from him. I'm going to give him 10 on 10 because it's a match-winning performance. Without his innings, Rajasthan would not have won the game. He won them the game. That's why I'm giving the extra point. It was probably a 9 out of 10 performance, but I'm going to give him one more just because he won the game for them. And it's a crucial 2 points. He'll give Rajasthan a lot of confidence. Without Ben Stokes there, the way Miller and Morris filled in, I think was remarkable. Miller, I gave him 9 on 10, even though I think he batted magnificently as well. But it just, without Morris's contribution, the game would have been done. So, and he was batting with the tail as well. So credit to him, 10 on 10. He gave Unadkat the strike as well when needed. Unadkat hit a boundary as well. So, you have to give Unadkat credit and Morris credit for that. 10 on 10 for Morris. Moving to Unadkat. Sensational bowling, 3.75 economy rate, 3 wickets. What more do you want from him? I think it was wonderful. He got a lot of stick in the last few years because he was been really expensive, and he's he hasn't been picking up wickets regularly, but today he was economical and he picked up wickets. I don't think you could ask anything else from him. I'm going to give him 10 on 10. I think it was just wonderful performance by him, and he broke that top order of Delhi and put them under pressure from ball 1, and with the bat he gave Morris a lot of support, so he was there till the end and he didn't lose his wicket. If he lost his wicket, that exposed the tail even further, and maybe even despite Morris's heroics, they would have got all out. So credit to Unadkat. I'm going to give him 10 on 10. I think he deserves that. And then Sarkaria, it wasn't the greatest day for him, but he's learning, some nice lower balls. The way he bowled the first over to Shaw, I really like that. In the last game as well, he was very impressive. He's going to be learning and he will improve. And he's been, he's been impressive. So I'm going to give him 6 on 10 for today's performance. And then lastly, Mustafizur, 8 on 10. I think he bowled really well today, picked up a couple of wickets. The slower delivery to Stoinis was wonderful. He got Stoinis out. I think that was a very important wicket. And then in the death overs as well, he came back and got a wicket. He's bowling the slower Yorkers as well. It's nice to see him bowl a bit quicker as well. He's bowling like 139, 140, and then that slower delivery becomes more effective because it becomes a surprise to the batsman. So 8 on 10 for Mustafizur. That wraps up the ratings. And I think it was a wonderful game of cricket. Can't wait to see more games like these in the IPL. And stay tuned for the latest content here on Down the Track. And make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for joining me.